But we do again send our best wishes for a speedy recovery for the officers, all the public safety people involved, and again our condolences to the deceased family. Up next is District Attorney Kevin Hayden.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, it's Kevin Hayden, District Attorney here in Suffolk County. As with all of these situations involving an officer involved discharge of a weapon, our office is here to conduct complete and thorough investigation. I'm here today with the chief of our homicide unit and my first assistant. As you've heard, and I think you can ascertain, this was a very chaotic circumstance. There were a number of first responders, both from a mental health perspective, as long as members of the Boston Police Department, doing everything they could to deal with a difficult situation and an individual who was clearly in some sort of mental distress. I can't stress enough that we are still in the very early and active stages of this investigation. There's still quite a lot of information that we need to piece together in terms of conducting interviews and looking at all the evidence in this case. So I think it's going to be quite some time before we're going to be able to have a full picture of exactly what happened here. But our first responders, all of them, I think, responded to the scene, doing the very best they can. Obviously a difficult situation for them, and obviously a difficult situation for now the family and whoever's related to the individual who unfortunately did not survive. And we're going to continue to do our best, just as we always do, to conduct a complete and thorough investigation.
Any questions?
How long about did the emotional distress call go on before it went south?
So it's not entirely clear, but it was an extended period of time. It could anywhere from maybe 35 to 45 minutes, possibly even longer.
Could you please go over what the initial call was about first? What was the initial report?
So,
I didn't quite follow.
The caller called for, he believed that there were 4 individuals with guns looking to do harm to them at that location.
And that was the emotionally distressed person who made that call.
We assume it's under investigation,
Okay.
correct?
Okay.
Do you have any reason to suspect this is connected to the recent stabbing shootings in the area?
No.
No.
We have,
So where was the confrontation with the man to whom you were responding? Was it inside the apartment building?
no, it was inside the apartment building, but outside of the apartment.
So in a hallway?
Yes.
And just to be clear, was there any evidence that there was someone armed with a firearm anywhere?
So it is.
Way too early to
Yeah.
tell, under investigation.
So you said both the clinician and one officer were both hit with that sword, and they were taken to the hospital. And then how many total officers went to the hospital?
Several officers, the clinician was talking.
Yeah. So several officers. They're not sure about the clinician's injury, but they were injured and did go to the hospital. At least one officer was struck with the sword pretty severely.
Yeah, again, I mean, we need to stress this was a very chaotic situation. When I first arrived, there was an officer who had been an initial responder, and it was uncertain whether or not he was going to be taken to the hospital at that point. A lot going on. How many went to the hospital to get treatment? We just don't know yet.
Commissioner, did I hear you right that in addition to the service weapons that was fired, a taser was also deployed?
Yeah, so this is all an investigation because it's we're trying to piece it together. But at least one taser deployment as well as one firearm from a
In
discharge.
a situation like this, what does department policy dictate should be used?
It's based on the individual and the threat that's involved. So I can't say that now. This is certainly a part of our investigation in general. But again, there was a sword involved. Certainly, someone was attacked and injured, and so I certainly the use of firearm would have been probably justified in this case.
Last question.
We're very close to Northeastern's campus. It's been a tough week for them. What steps were taken to notify
Yeah, upon arrival, certainly we've spoken with the Northeastern Police, and they can speak for themselves in a lot of ways. But I believe they've sent out notifications to their campus, saying that any ongoing threats to their campus in any way, and we'll hopefully get this area back to normal as soon as
As
possible.
soon as possible.
And just real quick, Commissioner, I know it's a tough call when your officers get called out for an emotionally distressed person. Is this an example of what they have to deal with on a daily basis?
It is an example of it, but in Boston we have other services, EMS, the clinicians. We had help and assistance, and they were here and involved with this, and actually maybe injured as a result of some of this. So these are very, very tough situations, and it's ongoing, and we'll investigate it further. But again, we just wish our best wishes to all the public safety people involved today, and as well as to the family of the deceased.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, District Attorney. I'll take any
Thank
other
you.
questions if anybody needs.
John,